Much better. So today we're looking at Victorian horror, London horror, maybe Terrors of London, right? This is a Kickstarter from Kolossal Games, the people that brought you Western Legends. Today we're looking at a deck builder based in Victorian horror, the genre, right? So Penny Dreadfuls, things like that. Really neat box. Let's take a look right now what Terrors of London is, what kind of a deck builder it is, how it plays. Then I'm going to come back and give you some first thoughts, some initial thoughts about this. And then we're going to dive deeper in another video. But let's take a look right now at what comes in Terrors of London, how it plays, and what makes it different than other deck builders right now. Terrors of London. What is it exactly? So first of all, let's take a look at the outside of this box. Now it was a Kickstarter game, so obviously you're going to get a little bit more production quality when it comes to the actual box itself. But notice this really cool lifting box cover with magnets in here so that it shuts, holds tight. I love that concept for a card game, especially. Kind of keeps everything neat in here, right? A little insert there. Again, these are all small details, but they're important for the fact that that alone keeps your game secure. I really like that. I like this art form here. This, we're going to talk about the fact there's two different styles of art here. Really creepy, grisly stuff, right? Some Penny Dreadful looking stuff. So let's take a look at what it comes with and how you play Terrors of London right now. So this is your basic setup here. Now you're first going to pick a faction. So you have the different factions here. There's currently only one character for each faction. You have Azazel, Methuselah, Lilith, and Fenris currently. What you do is you choose one of these. Let's say we take Fenris, right? Although I hear Lilith is the most balanced of the characters and they all kind of play differently. They all have different powers. Draw one card, then discard this card. You may use this ability once per turn. Just different things that kind of cater the style of play a little bit differently. So let's say we pick Fenris. You're going to take a wound marker, put it on its full health here at 45. Basically, you're going to play a deck builder until you defeat the other player, until you kill the other player, taking their hero, or not really hero at all, but their avatar down to 0 health. You have a little place to keep your relics to the right here. You can have 3 relics. You can have you start with a starting hand of 5 cultists and 3 fanatics. You shuffle these up, obviously forming your starter hand, along with 2 of the 4 influence cards. Now everybody has their own set of 4 influence cards. You choose 2 of these that you like the best. So rage and muster, these are 2 keywords that do things in the game itself. That's the one thing I've noticed, that there's a lot of keywords that actually really build depth into the game. So unlike DC Deck Builder, where it feels kind of straightforward pretty much the whole way through, which is not a bad thing, this seems to have a lot of keywords that key off things, as well as some interesting symbols, which we'll get to in a minute. So let's just say we take these 2. This one has to do with if you have a monster in play of this type from this faction, this will key in. So it currently gives you 2, but then you can also get an extra 2 power if you have a monster in play. So we'll take these, we'll throw them into our starter deck. The rest are discarded, shuffle up. You're going to draw 5 cards for the first player, 4 cards for the first player, 5 for the second player, and then you will play from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is your hand. We'll take a look here. So we have 1 cultist, fanatic. We have one of those influence cards and 2 more fanatics. So you'll notice the currency of this game. You have kind of the power and the money. So we have 3 power, and what this does, this attacks the enemy. So if I play these 3 down, 1, 2, 3, it's going to do 3 damage to their whoever they chose. Let's say they choose Methuselah or Lilith, it's going to do 3 damage to them. Now there are ways to mitigate that based on having armor and things out in play, but you're going to do different things on your turn. Now obviously it works like any deck builder. If you're going to buy from here, you have to have enough coins to pay the cost in the top left of each of these items. These are all just good things that continue to make your hands better, your deck better. So you may destroy a Lichen Blood if you do command. So it gives you, lots of keywords that key off of things, right? It also gives you the factions that they're a part of, those types of cards, which has to do with the way they key off of other things. You can also play your influence card if it's able, which I currently don't have any monsters to play with, so this is just out. Finish your turn, draw back up to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you will play, they'll play their turn, then you'll play their turn, your turn. Now this time, obviously, just based on the odds, we're gonna have more coins, so we'll be able to buy things out of here. When you do buy, it goes straight into your discard pile, and then you'll put something else out there immediately. So if you wanted to buy more cards, you're not kind of stuck with what's there. You actually do get to build up potentially better cards that are there. You also, if you don't like any of this stuff, for 2 coins could buy an Acolyte. Acolytes also are they're just like Kicks in the DC deck builder in the sense they offer 2 money, and it's pretty straightforward. Now they are part of the what's called the Horde bonus, and the Horde action is a pretty neat deal. So you'll notice in these monsters, they have symbols on the bottom. So this one points to the left with that symbol, points to the right with that symbol. So if you're able to chain these monsters together, let's see, I don't have a way to do this just yet. Let me draw to a couple cards until we find one that will work. Here we go. If you're able to chain these monsters together, nope, not quite. It's tougher than it looks. Here we go. If you play these 2 monsters down, so you have this Acolyte down and this zombie down. Notice that this blue symbol matches this blue symbol, and this red symbol matches this red symbol. It goes the way the arrow's here. You then get the Horde bonus at the bottom. These become separate actions that you can activate just once per turn if these are in play in your play area. Now, if they're in play, obviously they stay there. You don't have to discard them. There are some rules. Obviously, anything in a deck builder is like, if I say anything, it's going to be, well, unless this happens, or well, unless that happens. But for the most part, because you have these cards stay out there as your monsters, it's going to be a lot more useful to have those powers out there. So the different actions on your turn would be the play action, which puts them down in your play area. There's the buy action, which is how we buy cards from there. There's the attack action, which we covered as well, where you use your power to attack the opposing player. There's the Horde action, which we just covered as well. You can expand an existing Horde too, which makes it even more powerful, giving you more Horde options. It's not always the easiest thing, but you can. There are also relic cards, and they'll have the relic keywords. You know they're a relic. You can have 3 relics. That's not a relic, but you can have 3 relics in your play area here. You can use those relics once per turn. When they're activated, you just kind of acknowledge they're activated by tapping them or whatever you want to do. You can do the Overlord action, which would be the Overlord's power here. It says buy a monster in the street with a cost of 3 or less using any combination of power or money. You may use this ability once per turn. You can use a Haunt action, which means that if you have cards that were already out here and they have the Haunt token on them, you can spend that token to make them basically as if you're playing them out there for the first time, and so you're going to get all their benefits. And then you can pass. Passing obviously means you're done. You can do all of the actions as many times as you can in the round. So what I want to do now is take a look at the actual art on these cards, because this is where the game really shines. So let's take a look at the deck itself and see. Now you'll notice there are 2 types of art, and what I mean by that is there's the art on the Overlord cards, and these are just ghastly, creepy looking stuff, right? Again, it reminds me of some Penny Dreadful looking stuff. Really, really creepy looking painted stuff, really nice art. And then over here though, have a very comic book style art, very house style DC Comics circa 2006 to 2015, which if you know anything about comics is actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing to say house style at all. But let's take a look right here at some of these cards. So you have the Troll here. I just want to show you just some of the imagery here. It looks just fantastic. All of these have that wonderful looking stuff, just creepy, creepy stuff, right? And you know, look at that. Just want to flick through here for a minute just to see if anything jumps out. And although they're terrifying, so they're obviously going to jump out, but you know what I mean. Some of them have curse abilities, some of them have haunt abilities and things that just kind of happen. A curse happens first, you do it first, and then everything else happens after that. Look at that, nice legendary pistol. So you can tell if it's an artifact based on the symbol up there. Very cool looking stuff, man. All the way through, just all kinds of Victorian terror, Victorian horror all the way through this, which is neat to look at. Changeling, that's fantastic. So if you like horror art from the, you know, I don't know what this is, Victorian, but like this comic book style is something like an Image Comics or Vertigo from the 90s, 2000s. It's just very, very good art and just with a very creepy style. So look at that sinister gate. No tentacles coming out. Come on, throw it back. Let's go. Ooh, that's creepy. Terrifying stuff, right? It looks like something straight out of a Constantine graphic novel or something like that, but not in a derivative way, in a way that just pays homage to this genre, man. Look at this, gosh. Terrifying looking stuff. But that is the art here, and that is how you play Terrors of London. Let's talk about first impressions and all that stuff right now. So that's it. That's what it looks like right there. Now, first thoughts, initial thoughts. Let's talk. The thing that jumps out the most that I just spent a lot of time talking about is the art. The art in this game is fantastic. It's just a really awesome style, comic booky, but in a good way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very good era of comic books that this reminds me of. So the art is fantastic, top notch all the way around. let's talk about theming. Now, it really actually nails the theme quite well for a deck builder because you're actually building money to, I guess, now the only thing that's kind of weird is you're hiring monsters, right? So, monsters don't really take money, but I guess you're hiring someone who keeps a monster, or the ones that are like a wight or a witch or something like that. You're paying them to come join your forces. But the ones like you're gathering power to attack the other overlord, right? Whether it be through shadowy means or whether it be through your monsters attacking them, I think that actually makes sense. Now, let's talk about the genre of deck builder that we're talking about here. This isn't your legendary style to where it's an adventure that you're playing through. This is a one-on-one smash 'em up game, but it's not in the sense of like DC deck builder where you're trying to buy the villains so that you get more points at the end of the game. It's I'm trying to kill your overlord, you're trying to kill my overlord. Whichever one of us comes out on top is the winner. I think that's the smoothest, cleanest way for a combat deck builder to work, and I think Terrors of London really pulls that off well. A lot of depth involved when it comes to the keywords, keying off each other. The horde idea of where if you play those cards out and you lay them out in a certain order, it's really nice how you can combo those up with your hordes and how you place them up. So really, really well done there with the horde powers and growing that. Really dark theming now, like, so just be warned. The theming is very dark, right? You are not a good guy. You're not trying to be a good guy. You're trying to be the most evil Terrors of London, but it kind of fits that whole genre where no one's really a good guy in Penny Dreadful type stuff. You're helping to be the most evil, I guess, in London, or the most powerful in London, I should say. So it is a lot of a dark theme. So if that's more your style, then definitely pick up Terrors of London. If dark is not your theme, if you like being good guys, if you like playing on the side of light, don't pick this one up then if that's the case. But theming is the only thing that might be a bit of a hiccup for some people. But you know this going in. Obviously, it's called Terrors of London. You look at the back of the box, you go, oh yeah, okay, so this is a dark deck builder. But it's a deck builder, so it's not like you're doing so much to where it feels like you're doing a lot of dark stuff, if that's something that bothers you. What I mean by that is it's a deck builder at its heart, right? So all of the theming on top of it, still it's a deck builder. So you're not overwhelmed with the thought of, wow, I just cut that character's throat who was with my, who was helping me. No, I'm playing cards out to get better cards, to get those cards to get me even better cards so that I can do stuff to take your power down, raise my power up, get better hands each single turn. So at the end of the day, the deck building actually works really, really well in the 1 versus 1 combat through this. So Terrors of London is a really neat exercise at deck building in an era where we go, oh, it's a deck builder, right? That typically is the response when you hear a new deck. Oh, it's a new deck builder, right? It's not like, oh my gosh, it's a new deck builder. But I think when games like Terrors of London come out, they really help accelerate, or I should say, they help lift up that genre that can become tired at some time. So good stuff, Terrors of London. Make sure to go check this out if that's really your theme. If you're into that sort of horror deck building sort of thing, this one's going to be a definite win for you. If you just like deck builders in general, this is a win for you. So go check out Terrors of London. I'm Bryan Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow us on the new Instagram, Twitter handle, same account, different handle, Dice Tower Bryan, B-R-Y-A-N. Make sure to follow us on there. Keep up with us, and until then, we'll see you.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas, for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando, in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.